With the year 2024 coming to an end, and being in 2025, there are more options for DAWs than ever before. So today in this video, I'm going to list 6 of my favorite DAWs, 2 of which I use every single day. And we're going to go over what makes those DAWs so special, what I like about them, what I don't really like about them, and the price point you can expect if you want to acquire that DAW. Starting first, if you've watched my channel before, you guys know that I love my Maschine MK3 and of course use the Maschine 3.0 DAW. The barrier to entry to get into this DAW is super low at just $90. However, what makes this DAW so special is of course its integration with the Maschine MK3. So if you're just looking for a DAW, I do not recommend you just buy the Maschine 3.0 software at all. The piano roll is very limited, recording audio into it is not great. However, if you're strictly a beat maker and love using hardware and drum machines to record, like a modern MPC, then I cannot recommend the Maschine MK3 enough and Maschine software. This machine is perfectly integrated with the software, and I barely look up from the machine while I'm using the Maschine 3.0 software. Its group functionality makes recording super easy, and it's so simple to get my beat ideas down. However, like I mentioned before, its mixing capabilities are limited, the automation is almost non-existent, and if you're actually looking to produce full songs, I can't recommend this DAW to you. However, if you are just looking to make beats and you love using the Maschine MK3, then this just might be the DAW for you. Logic Pro X is the second DAW I use every single day. I almost have a little bit of a hybrid system going here. Why I love Logic Pro X is because it kind of has a little bit of everything, and it's pretty good at everything. If you want to mix in Logic Pro X, it's pretty good. If you want to get more into the production side, making beats, the piano roll is great. It has amazing stock plugins. It's easy to use. It's easy to record audio, easy to record live instruments. It's pretty good at everything. At a price point of just $250 Canadian and lifetime free updates, this might just be the DAW for you if you're looking for something decently on the cheaper side that can do everything pretty well. Another bonus I will say for Logic Pro X is the fact that it is integrated with all the Apple software. It is super easy if you have an iPhone and MacBook to send your music around. It's so well integrated with the ecosystem. I can't recommend Logic Pro X enough. This DAW I don't personally use, but I have friends that use it, and it is considered the industry standard. That of course would be Avid's Pro Tools. The thing that sucks most about this DAW is the fact that it's a monthly subscription, and honestly it's not even that cheap, and for that reason alone I would say most producers don't touch it. However, if you are an engineer and not so much a producer, I highly recommend this DAW for you. This DAW works super easily with outboard gear and hardware. So if you're into that, this is definitely the DAW for you. And like I said, it is the industry standard. So if you're looking to one day become an engineer, record vocal sessions, I highly recommend you at least get comfortable enough with Pro Tools. If you're just a producer, a beat maker, I do not recommend Pro Tools at all. They are so far behind in that category. This DAW is just not meant for making beats. People make it work. However, I assume most people watching this video are probably producers. I would say unless you're trying to get a job in a studio or you're getting really deep into the weeds of mixing and mastering, I don't really recommend Avid's Pro Tools for you. Next, this is kind of a sleeper pick, but Studio One. Studio One has come in hot into the game, and if you ask any producer who uses Studio One, they will die on the hill that it is the best DAW out there right now. And honestly, it is a little bit on the cheaper side at just $200 Canadian, which for what you get, I would say is completely worth it. It's definitely a DAW on the come up. Their parent company, PreSonus, was bought by Fender. So if you're into recording live instrumentation, I would say especially like guitars and drums, this might be the DAW for you. If you're part of a band and you produce everything yourselves, I would say this might also be the DAW for you. It is fantastic at recording live instrumentation. I would say this DAW is almost a cross between Logic Pro X and Pro Tools. but leans a little more towards the side of Logic Pro X, but still just has a slight edge over Logic Pro X for recording live instruments. So if you're kind of looking for a sleeper pick, I would say Studio One is definitely a DAW that you could look into. This next DAW gets a ton of hate, but I would say it's pretty unnecessary. That, of course, would be FL Studio. FL Studio completely switched up the game with their kind of producer-first approach, with their unparalleled piano roll, and their super easy step sequencer, and of course that distorted sound that it's known for. FL Studio completely flipped the game on its head. And a lot of the rap beats that you hear are probably made on FL. FL Studio, though, I must say is definitely on the pricier side. And if you want all the plugins included, it's $470 Canadian, which is quite expensive, but for what you get, not too bad. If you're just a beat maker and you're looking for the complete package, I would definitely say FL might be the DAW for you. It's definitely caught up in the audio space as well. Recording vocals is not nearly as horrendous as it used to be. And on top of that, you do get free lifetime updates, much like Logic Pro X. So if you're a rap producer and you're looking for an all-in-one package, FL might be the DAW for you. And last but not least is Ableton Live. Ableton Live really switched up the game when all the EDM producers started using it. It is so good at manipulating audio and creating these insane sample flips. I will say Ableton Live is the most versatile when it comes to different settings. So you can record in it, and just like in the name, it's meant for live shows. Ableton has the most seamless workflow, I'd say, when it comes to every avenue of music. If you are an EDM producer, or you just like making insane sounds, Ableton might be the DAW for you. However, this is definitely the most pricey DAW if you want all the features for it, coming in at $800 Canadian. But with that being said, I would say this DAW is like a cross between Maschine and FL Studio. It is a perfect place for beat makers. However, they also offer insane hardware that comes along with this DAW. With the Maschine MK3 and Maschine software, I'm constantly having to leave that DAW and go back to Logic Pro X to mix, record vocals, all that. Ableton has a drum machine that is compatible with Ableton, and you can record vocals. It has amazing mixing. Ableton really is the all-in-one DAW. At the end of the day, all the different DAWs have their strengths, and it really comes down to what your needs are. If you're a mixing engineer, go with Pro Tools. If you want a little bit of everything, go with Logic Pro X. If you're really into hardware and beat making, Ableton. If you just want the best hardware integration, go with Maschine. And if you're beginning, I would say try all the free versions you can, see what you like, and go from there. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Please remember to like and subscribe. See you next vid.